Welcome back to Mixing Up Success. Today, we are talking about pop-ups, markets, vendor events, and the real reason they succeed or fail. Because I used to say yes to markets for one reason. I thought I needed exposure. And yes, I gained exposure, but exposure without sales is expensive. And here's what I've learned after years of doing markets, hosting my own pop-ups, and analyzing what worked and what didn't. Pop-ups don't fail because people don't like your product. They fail because you either didn't build demand or your ideal customer wasn't there. And those are two very different problems. In the early days, I said yes to markets because it was good exposure. I told myself there will be a lot of people there. I don't want to miss the opportunity. And I assumed something very dangerous. If I show up, the sales will follow. But showing up is not a marketing strategy. It's attendance, and attendance does not guarantee conversion. Here's something I've experienced more than once. I participated in markets that did not align with my ideal customer. Boom, flop. You will not sell where your customer does not exist. And I know what some people say. Well, I have something for everyone. No, you don't. No one does. If you are trying to serve everyone, you are serving no one well. My ideal customer is not every human who walks past a booth. It's a specific type of buyer with specific buying behavior, with specific values, with specific spending patterns. If your product is positioned for gifting and premium custom work, and you're at a bargain-driven event, you are misaligned. If your price point requires intentional purchasing and the audience is browsing for entertainment, you are misaligned. That is not a product problem. That is an alignment problem. And alignment is everything. Have you ever walked through a market and noticed this? There's the vendor whose booth is buzzing, constant traffic, people engaged, product moving, and then there's the vendor sitting in a chair reading a book. Silent booth, little movement. We've all seen it. And I've been both vendors at different times. And I asked myself, why? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's two things, pre-work and customer alignment. The busy booth often started building demand weeks before the event. The silent booth often relied on foot traffic alone. But even more importantly, the busy booth understands who they are for. The silent booth is often hoping someone, anyone, will buy. And hope is not a strategy. Let's talk about the part that doesn't show up on a profit and loss statement. Energy. Setting up outside of your routine for a market is a ton of work. Even now, when I host pop-ups inside my own bakery, I still have to flip the entire space from production mode to retail mode. Displays, flow, team training, signage, checkout, cleaning, rearranging. In many ways, it feels like more work than loading up for a farmer's market because I disrupt my entire operational rhythm. And then there's the people side. I love community. I love customers. I love vendors, but I'm an introvert. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy people. It means events drain me. After 4 hours of being on, I need quiet. I need space. I need stillness. That's a real cost. So if I'm going to expend that energy, it better be intentional. It better be profitable, and it better be strategic. Let me be clear. I'm not speaking from theory. I am speaking from experience. There have been markets that flopped, and I've experienced no shows on pre-orders, leftover inventory stacked higher than I want to admit, events where traffic didn't convert, events where the audience wasn't aligned, overproduction because I was afraid to run out, underpricing because I thought that would increase sales, discounting after the fact just to move product, exhaustion that made me question whether it was worth it. And here's the part we don't talk about. After a market flops, you still have to clean up. You still have to reorganize your space, re-enter inventory, move product, market leftovers, protect your brand from panic pricing, mentally reset. Leftover inventory isn't just product. It's decision fatigue. It's freezer space. It's opportunity costs. It's the energy you now have to redirect. And I've had to sit in that more than once. So what do I do after a flop? Here's what changed. I stopped spiraling and I started analyzing. After a market underperforms, I now ask, was this the wrong audience? Did I build enough demand beforehand? Was my product mix aligned with that audience? Did I bring too much of the wrong thing? Did I price emotionally instead of strategically? Did I have a pre-planned leftover strategy? Because here's the thing. A flop is data. It's not failure. It's information. Information only helps if you're willing to look at it objectively. Now, if I have leftovers, I don't panic. I already have a plan. Maybe it becomes a flash add-on, a limited online drop, a bundle, a bonus incentive, or it gets factored into the next production run. But it's strategic, not reactive. Markets don't become profitable when you stop failing. They become profitable when you stop guessing. When you choose aligned rooms, build demand beforehand, know your numbers, plan your product mix, prepare for leftovers before they exist. And most importantly, when you stop saying, I have something for everyone, because you don't, and you don't need to. You need to be everything to someone specific. The biggest shift in my business was this. I stopped hoping people would come, and I started creating demand before the event. Instead of posting, come see me at XYZ Market, I started posting, here's what I'm bringing. Here's what's limited. Here's what won't be restocked. Here's what you can claim. I built anticipation. I showed behind the scenes. I made the product specific. And I started accepting online requests before the event, which meant I had guaranteed sales walking in. I reduced inventory risk. I knew people were coming for something. I wasn't starting from zero. That changed everything. Now, when I host a 4-hour pop-up, I can consistently sell around $2,000 in inventory, not because markets magically improved, but because I stopped relying on exposure and started building demand. Most bakers don't know their break-even number for an event. Their highest margin item, their fastest moving product, their ideal customer profile, their average transaction value. So they guess. And guessing leads to overproduction, underpricing, exhaustion, inconsistent results. If you don't know who your customer is and where they shop, you're gambling. And business should not feel like gambling. Here's the leadership shift. I take responsibility for the outcome. If a pop-up falls short, I don't blame the event. I ask, was this the wrong audience? Did I build demand? Was my product mix aligned? Did I communicate clearly? Did I price correctly? If it exceeds expectations, I study it. Because profitable pop-ups are not accidental. They are intentional. And not Every opportunity deserves your yes. Exposure feels productive, but exposure without alignment is expensive. Exposure without margin is unsustainable. Exposure without demand is exhausting. Stop asking, how do I get in front of more people? And start asking, am I in front of the right people? That one question will change your business. If you're doing markets and feeling like you're guessing, if you're saying yes to events without evaluating the audience, if you are overproducing because you don't know your numbers, if you are exhausted from unpredictability, I built a webinar specifically for you. Inside Profitable Pop-ups, we will identify your ideal market audience, calculate your break even, build a strategic product mix, decide how much inventory to bring, price per profit, not emotion, evaluate which markets are worth your time, because you cannot sell where your customer does not exist, and you cannot scale on hope. Pop-ups don't sell themselves. You sell them. Stop hoping people show up. Start building demand. Start choosing aligned rooms. Start taking responsibility for the outcome. When you shift from exposure thinking to demand strategy, everything changes. If you're ready to approach your next market like a business owner instead of a hopeful vendor, join me inside Profitable Pop-ups. The link is in the show notes. I'll see you there.